What's up, everybody? I'm Dragonluvr, and welcome back to the Final Fantasy XIV. We're picking up from where we left off, and we are continuing the storyline as we should. I've come to expect a great deal from you, lad, and you've never once let me down. Yet what I'd ask of you now goes beyond aught I've asked before. Would you hear my plea all the same? Stalvern has reason to believe that Severin is up to no good. Something must be done. It eases my mind to have your ear. You've no doubt familiar with that scoundrel Severin by now. Well, the scheming scapegrace is at it again. Since that letter came for him, he's been skulking about in that manner he does when he's up to no good. Now he's rounded up his rogues and buggered off, with nary a word to anyone. I've grown accustomed to his insolence, but something tells me this is different. It ain't exactly damning, but when I last had words with him, he didn't look defiant so much as hunted. I can't help thinking he's gone looking for trouble and found more than he wanted. So I was hoping you might hunt his sorry hide down and drag him back here before it's too late. The ungrateful little cur bites me every chance he gets, but I can't quite bring myself to cut him loose. I suppose he reminds me a bit of my younger self. Suffice it to say, I'd rather he didn't come to a sticky end. As for how to find him, I'd try asking Wadav at the Aetherite. She was the last to see him. I dare say she'll be able to tell you where he was headed. Right. Onwards! Nothing that passes through these gates escapes my notice. I saw that rouser and his rabble set out for Wold Whisper Cannon not long ago, singing about drinking themselves stupider. Cheeky sods said I should join them. I told them I'd rather shrivel up than sip whatever it was they had that pickled their brains. If you find that the idle swine, be sure to give them a cuff around the ear for me, will you? Will do. Alright. For the dirty, deceitful, downright dastardly deeds that slipping bastard's done! Claiming to take the lads out for a drink, only to lead us straight into a bloody trap. It don't get no lower than that. Course I've learned to stay a step ahead of old Severin, so I was ready. But the others weren't so lucky. You've got to help them. My axe may as well have been a white flag for all the good it did. Hope you fare better, or the sorry bastards in there are done for. Alright. Go time. Severin might have got us into this mess, but I ain't about to let him give his life for us. I'd sooner bow to a fishbag than to be in that conniving bastard's debt. To arms! A true knave. You'd betray even yourself, Severin. We were prepared to overlook the matter of your desertion on the condition that you provide us with suitable replacements. That was the agreement. Yet your latest change of heart leaves your debt to us unpaid. Few are they who betray the Serpent Reavers twice. You will not do so a third time. Cowering behind your protector will only delay the inevitable. Honorless wretch, your life is all you have left. And worthless though it be, we shall take it. O mournful voice of creation, send unto me a creature of the abyss, my thrall to command, that I may smite mine enemies.
You don't need that, thank you.
And of course, I'm not allowed to use my topaz. Oh, there we go. Duty complete. That the golem could be vanquished. That man is no ordinary adventurer. The snake slithered away. I am only glad he did not have the chance to sink his fangs more deeply into you. Those pirates do not belong to any of the known Lominsan factions. Whom, then, do they serve? The beast tribes? Surely not. But the timing of their appearance coincides all too neatly with the recent surge in Sahagin and Kobold activity. Something is afoot. The question is what? Could it be that the tribes are planning to summon their primals? 12 help us if it should prove so. Lemsa would be hard-pressed to keep a single primal at bay, let alone 2. But all is yet speculation. I must needs find evidence. The seas continue to rise, while the lesser moon continues to fall. And ilm by ilm, the world becomes even more unlike itself. It is as Louisoix foretold. The coming of chaos has rendered the laws of nature mutable, blurring the boundary between the material and ethereal planes. Little now stands between us and the primals. But they are not here yet. Though time be against us, hope shall ever be on our side. Never did the creed of Charlian ring more true. Never did I dream that I would possess the means to see Aether. Yet now that I do begin to take it for granted. How swiftly do the wonders of Charlian seem commonplace.
Um, here, for you. Have you come for the festivities? Today the Maelstrom officially makes the Great Hole in the Sea its training ground. Join in the celebrations. Wait, a disturbance in the etheric flow. But whence does it emanate? Sea Song Grotto, perhaps?
What have we here? Can you walk? 'Tis I. Regrettably, no. He eluded me. Understood. I will inform the Commodore. You collapsed from your exertions. Are you suitably recovered? Severin here has apprised me of all that has transpired. His account sheds some light upon how you came to be attacked by a golem, of all things. A golem is a mindless Really? I screw up. You stole a line! A golem is a mindless automaton, inert save when commanded by to be otherwise. Common pirates could not hope to control such a thing, so arcane are its workings. But then these tattooed wretches are no common pirates. They are the minions of the Sahagin. As to their purpose, well, I shall get to the bottom of it. But first I must escort Severin back to his place of employment. I dare say Stahlvern will be wondering what has become of him. And you too, for that matter. I will bear word to him of your preservation, but I am certain he would like to thank you in person. Pray pay the man a visit. Ah, he told me of you, but perchance he did not tell you of me. My name is Yistola. I am a naturalist of sorts, surveying the aether in the hope that it might offer us some clue as to our predicament.
I'd say I owed you my life, but that don't cover it. If it weren't for you, my friends would be dead and all. 'Tis a debt I can never repay, but I'll not make things worse by running away. Take me to Summerford Farms, and I'll face the consequences.
For reasons I cannot fathom, you seem... Forgive me. Mayhap we shall have a chance to speak again when I have marshalled my thoughts. Until our paths next cross, farewell. Right, back to Summerford Farms. Let's just teleport. And here we are. Oh, excuse me.
Lo! I knew you'd return. Istola delivered Severin a bit ago. Tales of your heroic deeds precede you. The rest came shuffling back too. Lot of 'em sporting the same haunted expression. It's me who's to blame for that. That and the rest. I was once a serpent reaver. A thrall to the Sahagin? 7 hells! Reavers may look and sound and act like pirates, but they're naught but the fishback's flunkies. Us pirates ain't much for laws,
But there's things we won't do. We've got a code. See, but the Reavers never followed word of it. A few years back, they started snatching law-abiding Laminsons. I'd only just taken my oath when our captain bent the knee to his new Sahagan masters. I knew I had to get away. So I crept off one night, got myself a new name, and found myself a new home. Summerford Farms. Trouble is, secrets don't stay secrets for long around here, and word soon spread, all the way back to the sea. The penalty for desertion is death, but the Reavers offered me a way out instead. My freedom in exchange for my mates. The letter. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't bloody thinking. Too busy soiling myself. Aye, but you got there in the end, didn't you? When the time came, you made the right decision. The men said little to me, but I heard 'em talking of how you stood to the Reavers at the last, of how you tried to give your life to save theirs. But that it may be, be that as it may, no deed, however good, can atone for the crime of betraying your brethren. I know that, I do. That's why I'm going to hand myself over to the Yellow Jackets. I'll bring shame to the farm no more. You'll hear no arguments from me. Each man must sail according to his own moral compass. I just hope yours guides you back here some day. There will always be a place for you at Summerford Farms, lad. And I'll always be in your debt, Stolvern. I owe you a debt too, Torian. Not once have you let me down. Thank you for saving the men of my farm. If I could ask one more favour of you, it'd be this. Tell Baderon what's happened from start to finish. I'm certain he'd put a good word for Severin if he knew the whole story. And he's one of the few people I know who the Yellow Jackets will listen to. Well, I reckon I've asked all I could possibly ask of you. Safe travels, son. Meet you guys there. Alright. Bloody hells. Life on the farm ain't quite how I pictured it. Ah, but you needn't worry yourself over young Severin. The Yellow Jacket and adds out her punishments is a good mate of mine. If I ask him nicely, I reckon he'd willing to commute the sentence from hanging to keelhauling. Kindly gent that he is. Ah, I'm only jesting with you. I'll see he's treated fair. Now, it sounds to me like you've done everything old Stolvern asked of you, and more, justifying me generous finder's fee in the process. Much obliged, lad. As for a reward, well, she's a lonely lady, this drowning witch of mine. How'd you fancy keeping her company for a spell, with free room and board? Venturing's a trying business, after all. Them as don't rest their bones every now and again tend to end up with broken ones. And take it from me, fighting ain't nearly so fun when you're nursing a shattering arm. And got that? Good. There'll always be a free bed for you, so make use of it. Not that you'll have much time for laying around, what with all the levies you'll be doing. Oh, didn't I mention? I'd put your name down for levies. Our guild draws all manners of clients offering all manners of odd jobs. Honestly, you'd be amazed how much folks will pay to avoid doing an honest day's labour. Just give to Mockery a shout whenever you feel like making a few extra gil. She'll always have some tasks or others for you to do. Oh, and it's all above board, in case you were wondering. We're careful to stay on the Admiral's right side in here, unlike some pirates I can mention. I tell you, if it turns out they had all to do with them kidnappings, there'll be 7 hells to pay. A proper bleeding reckoning. Mayhap that's what Limsa needs, though. On rough seas, sometimes you have... Oh, excuse me. On rough seas, sometimes you have to rock the boat to the right of it. But we have time for such talk when you're well and rested. Till then, enjoy the wench's hospitality. Alright. And now, on to the next quest. Oh, I'm gonna need these soon. How'd you fare, Torian? Rested and ready to expand your horizons? Well then, I've an idea where you might try it next. Have you heard of the skylift out in the middle of Lanosia? If you've ever visited World Whisper Canyon, then you must have been up and down the thing at least once. It's that big bleeding scaffolding attached to the descent. You've likely seen the lads and lasses out there using it to hold cargo up the cliff face. Hard labour that, and I hear there could be an enterprise and so to pick up the odd jobs what no bugger has time to deal with. Track down the head of the operation, bloke by the name of Verkick. Verkrit? These names? Well, Workrit. And he'll be sure to put you at your work on a task or two. Alright. Let us teleport here. And let's work our way there. Here we are. Vidaron sent you out here, did he? And consider yourself welcome at the skylift. Look at that bloody cliff, will you? One blast of fiery hell from that huge dragon was all it took to split the ground in half. Cargo still needs to get through, though, so this mess of the wooden pulleys was our solution to the problem. Well, one of them at least. If the gods were kind, and they ain't, I'd have about a dozen more workers to handle me growing or list of headaches. I leveled up! Let me put on these pants so I don't forget. Oh wait, what? Oh, I chose the wrong kind. Fuck! Anyway. Verkit, the skylift operator, needs you to recover a cargo load when abandoned by a terrified wagon driver and deliver it to its intended recipient. Glad I am to see you again, lad. A wagon driver just returned in a great bloody hurry, screaming about some monstrosity what sprang out from a millicorn seedling in his cargo. Seems the gutless bastard tossed it over to the side before turning tail and running for his life. I need you to head down the road and recover that seedling and deliver it to Leof over at Swiftperch in western Lanosia. Whatever he pays you for the cargo is yours to keep. After all, I don't rightly know what else is lurking inside that plant, and you deserve to be rewarded for your troubles. Oh, and you'll also find an aetherite in Swiftpert, so the journey should be worth your while. Onwards! No, cat! My cat jumped up on my desk! No, not the minion that I have. Kitty, what are you doing? I'm just like, my cat is like climbing up onto the shelves. Cat! Then again, she's being a cat. Alright. Swift Birch. Away! Cat, what? Are you... what are you doing? My cat is just peeking out at me from the fuck, cat? For the record, my cat's name is Anaya, in case you were wondering. Alright. Has Nemea herself forsaken this desolate land? Though I understood there were risks in gambling my entire fortune on a crop of millercorn, I at least expected the seedling to be delivered before disaster struck. Is that my million-cord seedling? Oh, joyous day! It may seem a paltry beginning, but the yield of this particular variety of crop plants is nothing short of astonishing. As you have undoubtedly noticed, sweet purge lacks a certain, shall we say, vital energy. Thus I mean to restore a modicum of her hope to its residents by growing a veritable ocean of corn. You, sir, seem fit to burst with vim and vigor. Might I persuade you to abide a while and help nurture the ailing settlement? Alright. Next story quest. Freyloff, a yellow jacket on guard duty in Swift Perch, wants you to visit the Brewer's Beacon and investigate the reason behind the waning light. You there, adventurer! Cast your eyes towards the Brewer's Beacon. Does the light not seem uncommonly weak? It cannot possibly be bright enough to guide the ships sailing in the bay. I would march over to the lighthouse and investigate myself, but I am duty-bound to remain at my post. I would consider it a favour if you could make a visit to the Brewer's Beacon and see if aught has befallen Cainsworth, the lighthouse keeper. Luckily, we don't have far to go. And hopefully, I don't have the same kind of incident as I did last time. Meet you guys there. Really now? One moment while I deal with these assholes. Go away! I literally did nothing to you! Alright. You say a yellow jacket sent you here? Me light's grown dim, has it? Well, of course it bloody has. The bomb what fuels me furnace has up and buggered off, you see. If I don't get that beacon fixed up soon, there'll be trouble on the water. I know you're just the messenger, lad, but I can tell a adventurer when I see one. I'm going to need you to chase down that bomb and bring back a claw what you ripped of its smouldering corpse. Take this here iron brazier and set her down in the middle of the flock. Somewhere near the scarecrow, I'd say. You'll get a nice fire going, and that frisky bomb will soon be about. Watch you don't singe your eyebrows, lad. You already know how key items work. Oh my lord. Alright. And now back we go. All you need to do is take down that runaway bomb and bring me one of its little claws. Luckily I did. Ah, you got the ashy bastard, did ya? Once I put this little firecracker in the furnace, that should keep things running for a while. I had myself a bit of a look while you were gone. Lim Lane cursed me if the furnace weren't all bent and broken. Small wonder the bloody bomb was able to escape. I patched things up. God damn it. I am so dumb. Alright. The furnace is damaged, is it? Very well. I shall write up the relevant reports. But these repairs must needs be effected without delay. It seems I have another favor to ask of you, adventurer. Take yourself straight to the Armorers Guild in Limsa Lominsa and explain the situation to Forge Master Hinaza. Here we are. The furnace in the brewer's beacon needs repairs. By God's beard, I just sent someone out to tinker it. Not a week past. Mayhap the bomb cane it has trapped in there was a touch too volatile. I'll have an artisan visit the lighthouse and pay special attention to reinforcing the casing of that furnace. Your work is done here, adventurer. May the navigator guide you on your journeys. On to the next one. Forge Master Hanazan, the head of Nal, the Deacon Vinmelis, wants you to assist in the workload of the Morbury docks. What say you to take on some work from Nal Deacon Vinmelis? We've a great hulking warship to build and could certainly use an extra hand and for any number of tasks. For your first job, I need you to run this missive over to Athbrim, the head of the shipwright at the Morbury docks. We forge most of the ship's bits and pieces here at the Armorers Guild, but the actual construction takes place at the docks found in the south lower of La Nocia. That's also where you'll find the main offices of Naudik and Vinmalis. The Morbury docks is one of Limsa Lominsa's most important districts. At least as far as I'm concerned. And I'm sure you'll not regret attuning yourself to the area's aetherite. If you've no confidence in your sense of direction, you'd be best served making use of the chocobo porters. First floor of the mizzenmast, if you were wondering. Should you choose to make the trek on your own 2 feet, leave the city through the Tempest Gate and follow the road south. May the navigator guide your steps. Meet you guys there. Alright, here we are. You have a missive for me from Forge Master Hanaza. I assume it pertains to the pending arrival of the materials I ordered over a moon past. Let's see it then. Blasted botherations! Another delay! I'm well aware of the shortage of skilled artisans, but this is insufferable. My apologies. The messenger does not deserve to bear the brunt of my frustration. Might I have your name? Torian, is it? Well, Torian, this proud maiden you see taking shape before you is the Victory, the first new vessel to grace the docks since the calamity. We may have lost the bulk of our ships that fateful day, but starting with this beauty, we will restore the Maelstrom's fleet to its former glory. The Victory is more than a simple warship. It is the symbol of Limsa Lominsa's rebirth from the wreckage wrought by the coming of the 7th Umbral Era. Thus we are striving to complete her construction as swiftly as possible, even going so far as to hire veteran shipwrights from outside Thalacracy. Yet even with such high unprecedented measures, there are never enough hands to handle the abundance of tasks. Should you choose to linger at the docks for a time, there is no end to odd jobs for a hard-working adventurer. Be you fair warned, there is no place here for layabouts and troublemakers. take these. Put those on. Alright. Athbrim is looking for a member of his crew and the items he was supposed to deliver. Where in the seven hells is that man? Not once in 12 moons has he been late with a shipment. Now 2 whole turns to the sun without a single word. A shipwright of mine, a young man named Frilsmid, recently left Candle and will keep Quay to retrieve several crates of supplies ordered from Limsa Lominsa, but has yet to return. I have sent several missives to Halbroda, but his replies are always the same. He does not recall ever seeing the rights nor the supplies he was scheduled to collect. The man knows something, and I severely doubt he's telling me the whole truth. As I cannot leave my post, I would ask you to travel to Candlekeep Quay in my stead, and inform Halbroda that if he insists on playing these games, I will personally see that he is transferred to Turtleback Island, where he can rot alone in the middle of the sea for eternity. Alright, let's go kick ass. Alright. Does that self-righteous dog, Athbrim, and doubt I never told him anything less than the truth? Yes, unfortunately. Turtleback Island? He cannot do that, can he? I swear, my poor Nana's grave. Navigator rest her soul. I know naught of this Frilsmid, nor his precious supplies. Hells, we here at the quay have had enough trouble these past few suns. Over the sinking of that lamented cargo ship off the Salt Strand, I haven't the time to take the proper piss, let alone make note of every scrag that wanders over, is in off the grip.
Level up.
Halbrada has a suggestion for the kind adventurer who came bearing form in Athbrim's message. Now, the way I see it, if you have time to be standing here questioning my character, then you most certainly have the time to set that arse of yours down onto the Salt Strand and help us search for survivors of the wreck. Who knows, you might just run across this Frilsmid everyone seems so eager to find. Here's to hoping the navigator hasn't found him yet. Hasn't found him first. I'm tired. I've been recording all day. Aye, I'm Frilsmid. You say the foreman wanted on me whereabouts. I thought he might. But you must know, I cannot show my face at the dry docks until I've righted this terrible wrong I've caused. 2 nights past, I made the trip to the dry docks to Candlekeep Quay, just as the foreman asked. The seas were right rough. The captain of the cargo ship was wary of bringing her too close to the cliffs. So I paid a few coins to a fisher to take me out to meet her. By the time we was halfway twixt shore and ship, the swells had risen to nigh on 10 yards, and 'twasn't long after the waves had hold of us. Try as we might to steady the boat, nature's grip was too tight. We was flung headlong into the immense galley. When I awoke, both ships were gone, and the cargo I was to collect lay strewn across the Salt Strand. I've made every effort to salvage it, but the sands are crawling with Kikirin, and I ain't one with a sword. And now you see why it is I cannot return to the dry docks. Let's be careful here. there is a distance of which I can pick these up. Oh, hi. Ah, don't get phased. That's a knockout. Okay. Hi. No. If you hear a noise on my end, I apologize, people. That night, I was tossed into the sea like some doll of rags, and it weren't long afore the world round me faded to black as I slid deeper into the abyss. Below, the navigator wouldn't see me to the gates of the seven hells, and I woke to find myself washed ashore. And here I've been, ever since, waiting for a chance to salvage me master's cargo. The missing part! I don't know how I can repay you. I'll deliver the supplies right away. But first, I must stop by the quay so that I might pay me respects to the widow of the brave fisher who gave his life for a handful of coin. Could you tell Adbrim that I'll be back at the dry docks by nightfall? Many thanks, adventurer. I will not forget this kindness. And let's teleport back. Here we are. I am relieved to hear that both Rosamund and the supplies are unharmed, though it was foolish for him to believe that I would blame him for that which was obviously out of his hands. You see, there was no storm that day. The seas here adjacent to the dry docks were as calm as a slumbering child. This leads me to believe that the trouble the ships encountered off of Candlekeep Quay was of less natural sort, the sort which the Sahagin have been known to conjure. Alright, I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I have been recording for an hour now. But thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you saw, then slap that like button, comment down below, and share this across social media if you so wish. And don't forget to click that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you can stay up to date with every single upload I make. Alright, I'm Dragonluvr, and I will see you next time. See ya!